Good morning. I usually wake up around 6 a.m. and I always have a little bit of time to scroll through my news, email, anything that I have to catch up on that happened overnight or that I couldn't get to in the evening. Coffee is definitely something that I put into my everyday routine, and I'm here just getting my daily dose of coffee before I head out. I actually live about 35 minutes away in League City, Texas. A few of us will live off of the island, some of us will live on. It really depends on your personal needs and your preference. I really like living out here because I have 2 kids, I have 2 dogs, there's a lot of space here, and definitely more than what I had when I was living in the New York metropolitan area, so my family and I really love it. There are, of course, pros and cons living either off the island or on. Obviously, if you're on the island, your commute is really short when you go to John Sealy or one of the campuses on Galveston. But actually, around your 2nd and 3rd year, and even a little bit in your intern year, you work in some of the Clear Lake and League City clinics and hospitals, which is only about 10 to 15 minutes away from me. Another thing we love about living here is there's such little traffic compared to at least the New York area. Those who are from larger cities definitely know what I'm talking about, and I've heard even Houston can get pretty trafficky, but in the end, it's still so much better than what we're used to, and it's nice to have a 35-minute commute and know that on most days, it really will be 35 minutes. With the pandemic being something that UTMB is obviously very aware of, we have masks, we have hand sanitizer and cleaning at pretty much every entrance of our university hospitals and clinics. I'm here walking to our Adolescent clinic, which is located in something we call Primary Care Pavilion, and it has a bunch of offices with subspecialties and general pediatrics as well. And of course, more sanitizing in our work area stations before and after work. Epic is our EMR system that we use for both our outpatient and inpatient settings. I love the fact that we have it for both settings because the patient that we see in the hospital that comes up to us for follow-up, all of their records and notes are there and easily accessible. The way that our adolescent clinic rotation is set up is obviously we have our direct supervisor who is our faculty. This month we actually have another intern with me, so there's 2 interns total as well as 2 psychiatric residents. In the morning before our patients come in, we have about 30 minutes where Dr. Rupp, our faculty, will give us a lecture about anything that is relevant. Today, as you can see here, we're actually talking about substance abuse as it is quite prevalent amongst our patient population and how we can handle it, speak with them about it, and treat it as well. We actually have a really fun time together, joking around, talking about everything, and Dr. Rupp makes the experience very enjoyable, and at the end of it, we've learned so much from these everyday half-an-hour lessons. We're also encouraged to participate in something called Huddle, which is where we speak with the nurses and other of the clinic staff in terms of what to expect that day in the office. This here is just me giving a little tour of the Primary Care Pavilion. We have really beautiful artwork and murals to make this place feel very homey and very welcomed. This is usually the team room that we go to when we have our continuity clinic with our general pediatricians. We typically have a 1 day or 1/2 day of continuity clinic during one of our inpatient or outpatient rotations to make sure that we're seeing kids from birth all the way up until adolescent age and work with them and follow up with any of the issues or questions that they have. It's spacious and has a ton of resources, and I've had some really great experiences here with multiple faculty and also other interns and residents as well. This here is just a couple more shots of the different rooms in our clinic. This is our family waiting room, and we also have my fellow intern, Manasa, walking down the hallway back to Adolescent Clinic. This here is one of our patient rooms, and they all look pretty similar. They're really spacious. We have enough room for the patient, the caregivers, anyone who wants to come with them. Today was a particularly good day to film because Manasa brought in home-cooked Indian food that she brought just for our little team, and we had a blast eating lunch, hanging out, socializing, and commenting on how amazing it was. I'm sure you'll hear many times in your process of applying to residencies and different programs that it's really important to see how the residents, the faculty, all the support staff, how well they get along. And I can honestly say that there's so much support here. There is a ton of fun here, and we all really understand each other and work through issues together as a family. At this point, after seeing the last patient around 4 or 4:30, I've headed home to my 2 dogs. My kids are still in daycare, and this is just the time to unwind and relax. Every once in a while, at least once a month, hopefully 3 to 4 times a month, our chiefs and assistant chiefs will plan an event for us. Today's event is actually painting, and we had a bunch of us get together, paint these really beautiful pictures of an elephant in the scenery, and you could add whatever sort of creative flair that you wished. As I've said multiple times already, the people here are so great. I've only been here since the beginning of intern year, which was a few months ago, and I've already feel like I've gotten to know every single resident in every single class that I can text, call, paint with, hang out with, and it's completely seamless and fun. These are actually a group of third-year residents who will be graduating next year, and I will miss them so much. And they are a wealth of information for how they handled residency, what they're doing afterwards, and pretty much any advice on life that you could ask for, they're there to help you answer. By the time I get home, my daughter is still awake. My son, who is 8 months old, is already asleep, but she's here just hanging out with me on the couch. UTMB gives us a ton of resources through their medical library, so we have a lot of preparation resources such as prep questions, Peds in Review. These are all things that a lot of pediatric residents have utilized to prepare for their boards, and it's easy just to log in either through VPN or through your account and do a few questions whenever you have time. Peds in Review is pretty amazing. It's also through the AAP, and there are a ton of articles on things that are relevant and things that you'll see in clinic and in the hospital all the time. After reading the Peds in Review articles, you can actually take a quick quiz to show that you have learned about this topic, and you can get continuing medical education points for it, which you will be accruing throughout your entire career. And there's, of course, always time to binge on a couple of shows on Netflix and catch up on any shows you might have missed out on a busier rotation or when things were a little more hectic. At the end of the night, I'm able to speak with my parents through FaceTime. They live in New York currently, and they definitely miss us and we miss them. But the beauty of technology is that we still communicate every single day at minimum, and they love seeing my daughter as well, and we have a great time catching up on our days. I'm going to leave you all with some beautiful images of our beach that is just 5 to 10 minutes away from our hospital. And we have gotten together there to have barbecue, playing some music, and just getting some relaxation time after a block or on a weekend.
Hey guys, I'm Ann. I'm a second-year pediatrics resident. I'm about to get ready to start my day. I'm leaving the house right now. So yeah, you can join me on my day today. just reached work and I'm about to walk inside. A long day on inpatient. Yep, going back home.
Good morning. Time for coffee. Personally, I think it's super important to do whatever kind of brings you your moment of peace and gets you ready for the day, gets you centered for the day. And if 10 minutes of quiet time by yourself with a cup of coffee is what it is, or maybe working out for 20 minutes, whatever it may be, I think it's really important to try to do every day before you go to work. If that's also making sure you get 10 extra minutes of sleep and rolling out of bed and walking to the hospital, that's fine too, whatever works for you, but try to make sure that you're ready for the day. I think that's super important in residency. Bingo. She's self-conscious because there's a boo-boo on her nose. As you can see, there's dog toys everywhere. This dog owns this apartment. Okay, so unfortunately me time's over. Time to get ready for work. Sign out is at 6 a.m. but fortunately for all of our inpatient rotations, we get to wear scrubs, so a little less thinking to do in the morning, more comfortable. Leaving for work now. I leave around 4:50 in the morning. There's not a whole lot of traffic, which is really nice. And I will listen to music usually, really like jam out and be a dork because it wakes me up. Alright guys, made it to work. That took me about 53 minutes. No traffic, just some rain today. Unfortunately, it's a little rainy out, so I may not be able to take you on my walk into the building, but hopefully things look a little better weather-wise on my way home, and you guys can see a little bit of the outside of the hospital. All right, let's go. All right, right, so about to see the newborn team here. We've got Miss Julie, our nurse practitioner.
Hi.
All right, and then we've got Jeremy, most entertaining senior.
Morning.
We've got Mariam, she's a family medicine resident. All right, and usually we have medical students today. I think there's some traffic today, so they're just running a little late, but they usually sit around here. We usually do sign out with the night intern at 6 a.m. and they'll tell us about any new admissions, any changes that happen with our patients during the day. And then we get started by first kind of prepping our notes, and then we'll go up to the mother baby unit to see patients. So I just finished rounding on my patients this morning, and usually there's a medical student with me, but they're in orientation today because we have some new medical students. And typically I'll do the exam and they'll watch and ask any questions and just kind of learn how to do an exam on a normal newborn baby. Afterwards, I go back and I finish my notes and get ready for rounds. So when we round on babies in the mother baby unit, mom, baby, and usually the dad or another family member is in the room, and so it's a good opportunity to not only examine the baby, but also address any questions that parents have, and kind of just see what the family situation is and make sure that we're not missing anything before sending baby home. All right, so me and my friends working real hard, doing notes, charting, waiting for our faculty to come to rounds, which is going to be in just a few minutes. So we're just making sure that our notes are done, our discharges are prepped, and we check on any updated labs, and also get any circumcision consents done, because our service does do circumcisions for any babies that whose parents have requested them. After rounds, sometimes faculty will give us a paper to read and talk about after lunch, and so today we've got this paper about preterm infants with neck, and so we'll be discussing that today. Practitioner Twyla and I are going to the OR. We just got paged to go to a C-section, and we're gonna go see this baby and make sure everything looks good, and take the baby to PACU and examine the baby after that. Baby looks good, and it's always a great experience on this rotation to go to stand calls, because you can really see what a baby is supposed to look like, and you always have backup if something's wrong with the baby. So it's always exciting. You always gotta keep your pager on you because babies come. Alright, so one thing that we do on the newborn rotation is, this is my girl, Mariam, Dr. Khan over here. We do circumcisions. Interns learn how to do circumcisions. Peds interns are required to do 6. Family medicine interns are actually required to do 10.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but you're gonna really know your stuff. So
Absolutely.
Dr. Khan over here just did her first circ. Whoop, whoop. We're about to go have lunch. We got our Chick-fil-A fix. Actually got a little caffeine chocolate here. But at UTMB we have Subway, we have Einstein bagels, my favorite.
Really good.
We've got like a hot meal that you can have that changes, and then there's also pizza, lots of different snacks, so some variety. I'm heading down to L&D now. I'm gonna see my admission that just popped up right before sign out, and I've already looked at mom's chart, checked out anything new with baby, and prepped my H&P. I'm just gonna examine, make sure everything looks good. I've got my ophthalmoscope here to check a red reflex, and my stethoscope. That's pretty much all I need to do my normal newborn exam. So let's go check out this baby. Just finished seeing my baby in L&D. She looks perfect. I'm about to write my H&P, about 30 minutes till sign out. So just trying to wrap up some loose ends for the night resident. Here in the newborn service, we try to work the best we can as a team, try to lighten the load. It's always nice not to have readmissions waiting for you when you walk through the door. So trying to keep things nice and tidy and ready to go for my co-resident Sarah. This is my best friend.
Oh,
she's so good. She's such a great co-resident to have, and I'm about to sign out to her, and she's gonna have a really busy night.
She's gonna sing that for the video.
Alright, so we signed out, and now it is time to head home. Alright, so I'm home, I'm changed, hair's up, and I ideally like to have a little bit of gym time with my fiance. We will run or Peloton for a little bit, which is honestly such a really nice idea, just because if you Peloton, you really don't have an excuse not to work out. There are literally 20-minute workouts on there that will make you sweat a lot, so I really like doing those. Some days I'm just so tired that I don't have the stamina to do a whole lot of cardio, so I will do one of my at-home workouts with my yoga mat in my living room watching my favorite TV show. So, I mean, honestly, anything that gets my body moving is what I try to aim for. And then some days I won't do anything at all. I will sit on the sofa and just cuddle with my puppy and call it a night. So I just kind of listen to my body when it comes to working out and try to be balanced in that way. Sometimes, especially on inpatient blocks, if I'm not too tired, I will study for boards, because we are expected to take step 3 within our first 2 years here at UTMB. I'm trying to knock it out just because with peds you don't really get the opportunity to review a whole lot of what's really on the exam, like internal medicine, surgery, etc. So I'm just trying to knock it out while I remember a lot of the stuff that I learned in medical school. And so I am using TrueLearn because I'm taking Comlex, and I just try to do at least, even just 10 questions. It'll add up over time, and it's something to review later. So I've got friends on in the background. It's a little fun thing to look at here and there, and my dear pup is just having a great time by herself over here. Hi, Mango. Dinner time, courtesy of Costco's taco kit. I love to cook, but on inpatient rotations, there's really no time unless on a day off or weekend, so finding little meal kits like this from Costco, or weekly sandwiches or things like that, ends up being our go-to. Good night.